So why don't you begin by introducing yourself and describing your sound for people who have never listened to you?
Yo, should I hold it? Okay. Hello. I am Robert of Boyo, and I would say the sound is a kind of mixture between the soulful stylings of the Beatles, the heart-wrenching bedroom isolation songwriting of Elliott Smith, and I don't know, I love Angel Olsen, I love the Strokes. There's a lot of bands. I'm very basic. I like a lot of new music.
That's totally respectable. I am also very basic. So I guess first question is, what would you say makes South by Southwest different from playing different, like other shows maybe in your hometown?
I would say it's the volume, like it's just like of people, and the variety. Like just being able to even just descending upon Austin yesterday, just the contrast of going to a bar and seeing being able to eat tater tots and seeing a country act, and then going down the street and being able to see a dream pop band and having stone IPAs. Is a different vibe where I feel like LA, it's very geographical, like in Echo Park. You get a certain vibe, like it, and there are trends and things you can almost quantify. Whereas South by, it's every street corner feels very contingent on the moment and the second. So yeah. I'm sorry if I'm handing it. Should I do the handoff? Sorry.
Yeah, I noticed when we got into Austin yesterday, it was like pretty overwhelming and like mostly in a good way, but also there's just a lot going on. So more in like just the vein of South by stuff, if you had your own like showcase and you got to pick your own lineup with any artist here, who would be playing it?
Who would be playing it? I would say my friends Cleo and Harmony solo, because they write really good music. I really, really like the new record by Soccer Mommy. It's really, really, really incredible. She writes amazing songs. Oh, wow, so many bands. My roommate and this fellow who I'm producing goes by the name of Brutus the Eighth, and he writes really incredible songs. And gosh, there's one person I'm forgetting. I know I keep on bringing Angel Olsen, but I'm just obsessed. She just I don't know why. I just feel like there's not many people like her that exist like now that are so, I don't know, dynamic and can write like a really gripping rock and roll song and then make a folk song that makes you want to cry and curl up in bed or something. I don't know. I don't know. Like I feel like you can pluck Angel Olsen into any era of music and she could like withstand. So
Have you had any celebrity sightings so far? I know you just got in yesterday. And is there anybody that you're hoping to see?
Okay. So when I got off the plane, I saw the rapper Khalid, who looked very so stylish and cool, and just like was wearing the coolest sunglasses. I actually really wanted to see like what brand they were, but I looked really creepy. And do you remember in Juneau the best friend that would sleep with like the older teachers in Juneau? Like remember like her best friend that she was always like she was like kind of like she loves older teachers like. She was like we were both waiting like in the gate together, and so I saw her and she just like looked really cool, and like I was like whoa, oh my gosh. And then there's one other person, but now it's kind of blanking on me. And then last year in this convention center, because you guys were telling me you saw Ugly God, which is a really cool which is just like a cool sight. Like when you got to when you got here, like that was your first kind of like oh my god South by sighting of just like a musician. And so my first like South by like when I got here last year, like I hadn't seen anyone, and I was just kind of like I wonder if I'll see someone. And then I saw Designer when I got here, And I freaked out, and his security guard was like, no. And I like tried to go up to him, and the security guard was like, dude, like calm down. I was like, it's designer. And I kind of like ran past the security guard and just like went up, and designer was like, he's chill. And said, and was really nice and said what's up to me, like let me bypass the security guard, like gave me a hug. And so that was like that was my real first South by like celebrity sighting of last year that I feel like kind of was my baptism by fire of like just being able to, I don't know, anyway, so
And I can't like think of any other better artist to like run into for your first one than designer.
so friendly,
yeah, but he had a cool fit on.
so cool.
And in the vein of cool fits, we were like overwhelmed. We were like, we did not pack enough cool clothes. Like when we got back to the hotel room, we're like, everything is bad. So like, what is like the coolest, strangest, most thought-provoking outfit you've seen at South by so far?
I saw, I don't know. I'm really oblivious. I realize I also like I realize I never look at people's shoes. Like I have one pair of shoes and these are them. Like so I don't really ever notice people's shoes. Like I never look. But we saw a dude with like an anaconda around him. And I don't know if I count that as an outfit. Like I don't want to like objectify a snake and be like that's an outfit, you know? Like but it was definitely like part of his aesthetic was the anaconda, and it was definitely like, whoa, wow, that's intriguing. Like, and I was a statement. And my friend Julian asked to take a picture, and the guy like was like $10, and so he had an anaconda. So I have honestly respect because it was like he knew his worth. Honestly, like $10 will seem low to me. He was like lowballing us, but anyway, sorry.
Yeah, so kind of just like moving on to your own music and like Boyo stuff. You could just put out your album "Me Again" back in, was that January?
Yes.
Yeah, we've been playing that a lot on radio. Okay, yeah, I love it. So do you want to talk about how that album has been like a little bit different of like a musical journey for you than other projects you've worked on in the past?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't want to be too boring or whatever, but it's yeah, it's you know, it's not too different in the sense that, you know, I made it in the same, like, basement, on the same computer or whatever, with the same, you know, like, cheapo Guitar Center drum kit and, like, my dad's guitars and whatever. But, like, it was, like, it detailed, like, leaving college and going through a different period of life and being like, oh, well, you know, drugs are kind of bad now. You know, I definitely shouldn't take pills, so that's an interesting realization. And so there's definitely just, like, some new things that I realized, and I was like, I should... in 2020 hindsight and stuff, but it's really you know, it's a luxury. Like I'm really lucky. Like I have friends that like support me and that'll play these songs with me, and friends that'll, you know, put out my stuff, and I also like, because I don't have much of a life outside of making music, I can make, you know, I have 2 more albums done, so I'm excited. I get to just. So I don't even remember this one. Like I don't know. I'm just like I love it, and I'm so happy you guys are playing it. But I'm just excited to put new stuff out, and like it all feels like kind of like journal entries, or like when you look at, you know, like when you look at like a picture of yourself in high school, when you're like, so that jacket was cool, but like what was I doing with my hair? You know what I mean? Like that's what I look like. When I listen to that record, I was like that drum sounds cool, but man, I could have made that line a little cooler. So that's like what I think about it now. Like it's, you know, it's like all progression and stuff. So it's fun. Like, and when you got, you know, like it's even like when like you're in school and when you're learning, and it's all just like experiential and a growth, I think. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, I can take it. So just like one more on your music. You've kind of been like working in the LA DIY scene, and do you want to just speak to that a little bit and like how that's like influenced your growth as a person and as a musician?
Totally. Well, I'd say like it's really the way that I've watched people do their thing. Like, you know, I don't know, like, and it's no knock to him at all, because I have utmost respect, but like, you know, musically I definitely make a different kind of music than like someone like Ty Segall, but you know, the way like he just constantly puts out stuff and does it on his own, and plays on the instruments and records it at home and stuff, that was always super influential. Like I remember when I was like 14 or 15, I was like, you don't have to go to like a big studio and get, you know, scary studio producer to do it and pay like so much, an inordinate amount of money and all this stuff. So I was like, oh, like it's not this formulaic thing. You can make a record. A record doesn't have to be this thing, this idea, and that was really freeing. And then bands like No Age that were putting on shows at the Smell, and even when they were putting out records on Sub Pop, they were still like doing record releases at the Smell, and I was like, what? And so that was really, really influential. And my friend like Cleo and I, like we were in this band that we had, this punk band that was kind of doing the same thing that their band, sorry, Girl Pool, and my project Boyo, like we still have the similar ethos that we got from our early band that was called Bobby T and the Slackers, where we were just playing like crappy DIY house shows. And Cleo, like they kind of still have that same ethos that they carry it with them no matter what project they do now, which is like, we still want to play music for people that want to enjoy it and kids that want to come out. It's not about playing a 21 up cool sceney thing with people with turtlenecks and a leather jacket and everyone's smoking e-cigs inside. I mean, sure, that's cool and it's great and it's gonna happen and it's awesome, but like I'm not cool. Like I don't feel cool enough to do that. Like I feel fraudulent. You know what I mean? Like I don't feel like I still feel really nerdy, and I'm a music nerd, and I know too much about every musician too. Like I'm a nerd, so it's like I want to just play for other nerds.
I guess kind of along that vein, what life advice do you have for our listeners?
I am the last person to give that. I would just honestly say, like, maybe just avoid toxicity. You know what I mean? Like, just, I'm really lucky. Like, people I'm traveling with right now are all really, really sweet, genuine, kind, lovely people that I feel supported by, and that are so nice and so, it doesn't feel like there's this snaky ulterior motives, or like we're trying to get into the cool showcase and get best new music on Pitchfork, and we're gonna get all the cool stuff. It's like that'd be awesome. Like it's not like by the way, it's not like I'm trying to knock it, but it's like at the end of the day, it's really just about like it's just like doing it's just like, and this is the most cliched thing ever, but there's a reason why it's so reiterated. But it's like ultimately you can have 1 million followers, and you can get playlisted on Spotify, and you can be the coolest dude ever, the coolest girl ever, the coolest non-binary person ever, the coolest anything ever. But no matter what, you can feel empty and go to bed at the end of the night and you're alone. You know what I mean? It's like about being surrounded by love and support and making stuff that you're stoked on. You know what I mean? And so like, I don't know. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but I've just seen it. I've just seen some, and I've gotten the opportunity to learn from so many people, and I look up to so many people that have succeeded before me that like have taught me these lessons. So I'm really, really lucky, and so yeah. Anyway, I don't know any shit about shit, so sorry.
And I guess to close out, could we get a quick yeehaw from you?
Yeah, like what kind though? Like a.
Whatever kind you feel. Yeah.
Yeehaw.